Hello, here is some of the work I was experimenting with on Lightwire assets. So we got some new nodes here. So let's go take a look at what we've got. So the ones right here, they're phasing nodes. So what they do is they have collision, but they have a phasing arc in which their collision goes out. So in other words, there are node type that you can only hit during certain times. Now, if you're worried that you have to time your shot release perfectly, not quite. The instant you fire a shot, the time the node uses should stop there. So the instant you let go, it will stay at whatever state it was at. Then we have, I believe, the reflector. So this is a fun little type, and this type reflects beams off of it. So as you can see, it does a simple reflection. And if you do more than one, yeah, fun things can happen. Let's see here. What was this one? Oh yeah, this one is the fluctuating node. So this row right here is the fluctuating node. And what they do is they change between values. So they'll have a minimum and maximum value, an amount they increment by, and how often they increment. So the value of the node just changes over time. And then the next ones we have up here are weapon nodes. So these nodes could use any weapon that is currently in the game. Right now they're just equipped with a beam weapon. Here we go. So you can see it's aiming with another laser. So I'm going to wait for it to come down so we get a better look at what it's doing. You also notice it has a different rotation. And you'll probably also notice these look exactly like the original Lightwire nodes because they are. I don't have a new look for them yet. Alright, so I'm going to wait for... There we go. And as you can see, it blasted through all of them. Now, the graphics are the performance is a little wonky. That's mostly because this was in prototype stages. And now let's go take a look at a few more nodes up here. Okay, so this one here with the electricity around it, this node really won't do anything right now. It's called an EM node, and the idea of an EM node is that it would disable a turret in the level until you destroy it. So it's a way of making it that a turret is locked down until certain objects are destroyed. So I believe this is the refracting node. So the refracting node is still slightly into work. It's similar to reflection. For those who don't know what refraction is when light goes through a different substance, it bends slightly. So that's what the general idea of this node is, though it's not completely implemented yet. These ones with the red aura around them, these are dampening nodes. So what they do is they have a field around them that affects other nodes. So these ones are taking 200 points away from every node. So if I want to fix that, I have to go destroy them. And you'll notice something else going on weird here. So I'm not going to destroy them right now, and we're going to talk about this next node, which is a little more interesting. So these are gravity nodes, and they actually affect beams' paths. So as you can see, my beam is the aim line is curling towards the center. Now you can actually, for these nodes, you can change the strength of gravity for them. It's based on a curve. So for example, I could say, let's inverse the gravity. So now, I'm propelled away from it. I could still hit it, I just have to aim it just right. But now, instead of pulling me towards the node, it wants to bend me away from the node. So if I aim, and yeah, a bunch of weird funky things happened when you get a bunch of these around. It's a really odd pathing, but it opens up a lot of puzzle possibilities. You get a bunch of trick shots like this one. Okay, is that turret still operational? Where's that turret? There it is. Alright, let's put the turret back on to ready to use and fire again. And as you can see, the beam actually traveled along the same path as the line, so we can curve the beam. Now, these gravity nodes will only work on beam weapons, mostly because it's simple, and the other weapon types are going to get a little more complicated. The detonator is a possibility, but the wave turret is a definite no. We can do it, it just does weird things. So I guess I could show you that. So let me bring the wave turret up here, and I'll show you what happens with the wave turret and the gravity well. So I have to make sure I turn that on. So I put in a thing in the wave turret that lets you turn it off, for the obvious reason that, let's see, where was it? Is effective gravity. There we go. So I'm going to aim this thing at this node and see what happens. So as you can see, you can start seeing what's happening here. It's starting to bend towards those. Let's move the turret up a little bit more. It also does some weird bending with that, as you can see. So that's why I didn't want to have it in. But with that, I can do that many hits. And then if you look above, let's move the camera up a little bit and we can see this other node. So this node here, the one moving around, is a warping node. And the idea of this one is just a node that just goes between a few fixed points. It's pretty simple. And again, it will stop warping once a shot is fired until all shots are done. So as soon as you fire a shot, it will just stay where it is, and you don't have to time your shot to the point of exactly estimating the arrival time of the shot. You don't have to worry about that. And I think those are the major ones that are working right now. Unless these are the posthumors? Oh yes, these are the posthumors. So they're a variation of the dampening. They don't really have a value per se, and what they do instead is they modify other nodes when they're destroyed. So we don't really have any example nodes, so, and I don't remember how far I got on that before I had to stop. And I think those are all the node types we have. Alright, thank you.